Hello, if you can hear me, there was no sound coming through. No.
Somebody's like to the record. Councillor Gordon's just arrived, so I'm going to introduce himself. Simon.
Just really good.
Introduce, yeah.
Simon Gordon, portfolio holder of the planning, member of the
I'm Phil Knowles. I'm the leader of the council and I chair this particular committee. We have got Rachel Phelps online, but at the moment
I am here now. Sorry, the chamber was muted, so I couldn't hear what was going on. So I am here, Rachel Phelps. I'm the head of community partnerships.
there we go. It's all working now. So thank God for that. There we go. So we'll move on now to the next item on the agenda, which is apologies for absence. And just to put it on the record, Councillor Woodywis has apologised and Councillor Asher is substituting for him this evening. Declarations of members' interest. Any members' interest at all? No? Everyone's happy. We then move on to the item 4, which is the draft minutes of the Cabinet Subcommittee Grants meeting of the 28th of July, which is pages 3 to 8. I have a copy here which I have to sign. Anyone wish to make any comments about this, or is everyone happy? Okay, does somebody want to formally move that we... Okay, I'll second it because I was. So, okay, I'll sign that. And pass that over to who wants it coming. There you go. Right, we now move on to the main part of the agenda, which is item 5, which is the £1 million community grant applications, which if anyone's got a copy of the agenda, and there are some spare copies around, this runs from page 9 to 34. What I'll do before we go into the actual individual items is I'll just ask, Becky, do you want to make any comments at all?
I just, for anyone who's not familiar with the scheme, I'll just do a brief introduction. For those who will have now heard it 4 times, I'm very sorry. So the Community Grant Fund is a council-run £1 million capital grant scheme for town and parish council meetings and community organisations in the Harbour District. So this round that we're discussing, round 4, has been part of the 2024-25 budget. So this is the final round, closed in the middle of August, and this report is going to present 16 projects that have applied for funding and been assessed. So all of the projects have been assessed as usual by Claire and Soretta to make sure that they meet the requirements. They all have the support of the relevant parish or town council or meeting and include the views of a ward councillor. If there are any special conditions, they will be noted in the appendices for organisations as well. So Claire and Soretta will talk about the individual applications. Before they do, there's been a couple of things from previous rounds. Just to note, so Great Eastern Parish Council were awarded £5,499 in round 3. There was a special condition around that and the grant was not released. That was just because they were trying to sort things out. There were no particular problems, but the parish council since decided not to accept the award because they would like to prioritise the village hall to apply for the full original allocation, which is in these notes today. So the Great Eastern allocation has been reinstated to £10,000. And then also just to note that Market Harbour Drama Society were awarded 3,000, I know I was going to trip over some number somewhere, £3,593 for a digital window screen in round 3. They were waiting for planning permission. The grant was not released again because it's a heritage area and there are issues in terms of planning. The Drama Societies decided not to accept the award, so that amount has been returned to the remaining Market Harbour allocation.
Thank you. Well, just to confirm, I'm sure you all know, I mean, our officers check every one of the grants and when the conditions are there, they have to be fulfilled because obviously these are considerable amounts of money in total, which are being used for the benefit of the community. So our officers do check everything. We're on page 9 of 52 of the agenda, and we're going to consider the individual grant applications. Does anyone want to say anything else? Or did you want to make any overriding comments or anybody? No? Okay. So we will move now on to the first item. And the first item I have is Lear Parish Council, and the amount that they're looking for is £8,565.34, which is the total that's there. It's a variety of items that are listed. The ward councillor, Councillor Graves, as I believe, has supported this, and it's for a four-phase approach to improve the village with new signs, new benches, audio-visual equipment and surface dressings. Do any of the officers want to make any comments at all on this before I take it any further? Yes, please. Yes, very much so.
Let's speak down.
No, you need a microphone or it won't.
So the signs are visibly worn and community feedback supports their replacement. The Jubilee Walk access feedback from residents are avoiding this area currently due to slip and trip hazards. With the AV equipment feedback from the community and current users, this would enhance the offerings, attract new people, and could be used more for social events and enable remote access for users with mobility challenges. The council feel this would improve pride in our place, with the signs enhancing the aesthetic appeal and visibility of the village, and the surface dressing and the benches all help with the health and well-being. Particularly need for the bench in the bus stop has been made, and the AV equipment can be used for far more classes than it is now, also helping health and well-being. There are no special conditions to mention this with this one, and I think the group are here tonight.
Thank you. So, Lear Parish Council, is there someone who'd like to come along to the front and tell us a bit more about the scheme? Thank you very much. If you'd like to come forward, and is there a speaker on there at all? Yeah. They put it on the wrong table. That's a further technical hitch. That's it. It is mobile. Well done. Thank you very much for that. You'd like to introduce yourself and then details to us, please.
Yeah, I'm Jerry Poole, Lear Parish Council.
Okay. Any comments you want to make about the overall scheme? Anything you'd like us to?
Yeah, I think what we've sort of concentrated on was enhancing village pride, really, and also, as Claire said, the well-being of the people in Lear. You know, things like the signs certainly give. A lot of people in Lear are envious of the signs that, for example, at Blaby and Claybrook, which are really nice signs. As you come in the village, it looks good, and I think that goes into civic pride, really. And then in terms of the audiovisual equipment, our village hall is quite small, quite old. It does struggle to compete with a lot of the other village halls near us, some of whom have had the benefit of Magna Park money. So we haven't. But if we could get the audio visual equipment, then it would make our village hall more attractive for parties. It would help the scouts, guides and the beavers. We might be able to attract some training courses, presentations, but probably most important, film nights. And then that will have a real social benefit from the village. We've seen what goes on at the theatre here. They have a monthly film night, I think, for almost current films. And there's a feeling in the village that could be a really good thing for us. Keeps the village together.
Fantastic. So again, it's money well spent invested in the community.
Yeah. And in terms of the surfacing, the station lane is part of the Leicestershire Round.
Mhm.
And it is very, very muddy, and it got very narrow with foliage. And we've got a volunteer group which works on Jubilee Walk, and they've cleared all the foliage to make it much wider. But it's still very muddy, and that's okay for the serious Leicestershire Round walkers with boots, Wellingtons. But for the villager who just wants to go out for a bit of a walk within the village, they'd like to walk along there with their shoes and ordinary shoes. And it also makes it a bit better for mobility users as well.
Good, thank you. Thank you for that. Well, I see the ward councillor, Councillor Graves, has added his support to this. I'll open this up now to my colleagues from the panel. Councillor Usher, Councillor Bolton, do you want to make some comment?
Yeah, just really to say it sounds like a good scheme, lots of different things going to the village. I'm happy to support this application.
Thank you.
Yes, it meets our criteria. Well, happy to support it.
Okay. Oh, just the support is right across the panel. Would somebody like to formally move this? Is there someone who would second it? Councillor Bolton? So all those in favour? Anyone against? That's carried. Our officers will be in touch with you and tell you when the pigeon will be arriving with the money attached to its leg. So, as I say, if you need any help, talk to the officers. They'll be very happy to help you.
Yeah, okay. And can I just say, I'd like to thank Claire for the help that she's given us.
Fantastic. And thank you. Thanks for coming along this evening.
Thank
If you
you.
want to stay for the whole of the meeting, you'll be very welcome. But if you want to shoot off, no one will blame you. Okay. We always get to the end of the night and there's one person sitting at the back. It's okay. Yeah, normally. The next item we have on the agenda, if I'm following this as I should be, is the Fleckney Village Hall installation of solar panels and storage batteries. And Fleckney are looking for 28,784. It has been supported by the former district councillor for the area. And I'll ask the officers if there's any comments at all that the officers want to make.
So I just summarise that the village hall feel that the solar panels, by keeping the costs down, it would help them maintain higher rates at an affordable level to encourage the use of the village hall, the use by fitness, sports, dance, meetings, etc., for the benefit of the community, but also would create a sustainable environment to protect future generations by reducing the carbon footprint. So there is one other application from Fleckney, but there's plenty of money left in their allocation for both projects.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Any other officer want to add anything at all? No? Is there anyone here tonight from Fleckney? Would you like to come forward and share the information with us, please? Thank you. You can introduce yourself.
I'm Amy Vickerman. I'm the chair of Fleckney Village Hall. Yeah, I think you've summed it up. I think it goes without saying that Fleckney Village Hall is the heart of the community in Fleckney, and we operate as a registered charity, but with no specific backing from any other groups. There are various other venues in Fleckney that all have backing from their kind of background organisations, but our independence means that we serve everybody, and we want to ensure we can do that going forward. But with rising costs, that's very difficult. So we want to kind of offset that and make sure we future-proof what we are offering, so that we can continue to support a wide range of community groups using us going forward by making sure that that remains an affordable option in the village.
Fantastic. Anybody want to comment? Councillor Alton? Councillor?
No, very happy with the proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good scheme, solar panels, and it's always going to be welcomed by everyone, I think, this day and age, and it's amazing how much money they actually save. So yeah, it's really good, and I think Fleckney's had a lot of development, so it's nice
Yeah.
that they've got the facilities and you can keep them going at affordable costs for people. So yeah, happy to support this.
I think there's no doubt about the village hall in Fleckney. It's a key asset for the whole community, and I think it's something that we, as a committee, are very happy to look to invest in, because it is about investing in the communities. Do the officers want to add anything at all? No? All right, they're all very happy this evening, so
Amazing.
we're doing quite well here. Right, would somebody formally like to move it? Seconder? It's been moved by Councillor Gordon, seconded by Councillor Asher, that we allocate the requested amount of £28,784. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. And the second pigeon of the night will be heading to Fleckney. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, I'm now moving on to page 17. And this is Fleckney Athletics Juniors. Purchase of a new set of folding metal football goals for the younger teams. And the interesting thing is here, we've just been talking about an allocation of £28,000 and this one is £900, just over. So it shows that this grant scheme is doing such a lot for the communities. Do our officers want to make any comments at all?
Yes, just to explain that the current goals have broken and are dangerous to use. The football club supports over 200 children in the local area, and having the correct safe equipment is crucial to ensure they can continue to serve the younger age groups. And they're also conscious that the funding will allow them as a football club to keep bringing children in at the youngest levels, who will then hopefully stay on in the club as they get older. And obviously would support health and well-being. They're not here tonight because it's such a small amount, quite a straightforward project. Nothing else I need to draw attention to, really.
Well, all I can say is, as a Wolves supporter who's having a really bad season, having broken goals is obviously, I think, one of the reasons we're not doing very well in the football in the Premier League. Yeah, I think we could do with them, I'll be honest with you. So, does anyone want to comment? Councillor Asher?
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously quite important with my portfolio. I really enjoy seeing people keeping active, especially helping children get into sport. So I'm happy to formally move this application.
Happy to second it, Simon. Yeah. Right. Well, you know, we have introduced Young People's Champion, and we are investing in the younger members of our community. And I think, again, this is an absolutely ideal way of doing it. So it has been moved and seconded. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. So that's lovely. We'll now move on to the next item on the agenda, which is Thurnby and Bushby Parish Council. Installation of outdoor gym at the Manor Fields multi-use games area. The amount being requested here is £50,000. Ward Councillor, Councillor Elliott has put his support to this. Ask the officers first if you want to make any comments on this at all. Please.
So this would meet the council value of health and well-being. The plan is to advertise the outdoor gym via social media, the village newsletter and the PC's website, with the added possibility of hiring a personal trainer for a day-long session for residents to come and try the new facility. There's also the ability to download a phone app so that users can chart their fitness levels. There was feedback in a recent resident survey all highlighting that the area lacks an outdoor gym facility, and they've ensured that they've would install lots of accessible and varied equipment for all levels, ages and disabilities. I would just read out the one special condition that comes with it. Any award should be made with the condition that the required planning lease is applied for and provided by HDC, who own the land. The Parish Council have received a letter of interest from John Kemp, HDC's Environmental Services Operational Manager, confirming that they have no objection in principle to the installation of the equipment on the land and issuing such a lease. And I think they are. Yeah,
All right, so it is recorded. The special condition is recorded. Who would like to come and speak to us about this one? Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Eleanor Preston and I'm the clerk to Thurnby and Bushby Parish Council. The outdoor gym will be a valuable addition to the large and diverse community of Thurnby and Bushby, which currently lacks an outdoor gym facility where adults of all ages, backgrounds and abilities can access equipment in order to exercise, socialise, and in so doing significantly improve their fitness and physical and mental well-being. In applying for the full grant allocated to the Thurnaby and Bushby parish, the council is aiming to utilise the funding capacity to its fullest extent, by which it will facilitate the installation of a large, high quality and accessible outdoor gym area. For instance, the parish council have opted for equipment that can be used by people of all ages, whether young or old, and residents with disabilities. The chosen equipment has been selected to allow users of different abilities, from novice to highly experienced, to significantly improve their physical fitness and well-being, with the option for users to staircase their physical training and journey from equipment that is lighter and simpler to use to equipment which is physically more demanding. It is therefore hoped that the local fitness groups will hire the facility for group classes and training. Furthermore, the proposed location of the outdoor gym is ideal and accessible for users from across the community and beyond. The gym will be accessible from a path that currently exists between the play park and the multi-use games area, with the proposed addition of a tarmacked pathway that will join the outdoor gym to this footpath, making it accessible to wheelchair users. As such, it will be situated next to the very popular Manor Field outdoor park, as well as the extremely popular and well-used Cafe 55, which not only attracts customers from across Thurnaby and Bushby, but also the wider urban district of East Leicester, and also attracts the central community hub for various social groups in the village, such as parent and toddler and yoga groups. The council hopes that attendees to the cafe and these social groups will also utilise the opportunity to use the outdoor gym. In addition, it is a convenient location, as the outdoor gym will be situated very close to the A47, which it is hoped will make the facility appealing to visitors from further afield who frequently commute.
Thank you. Again, very wide group that could be interested in this. I think it's quite an exciting scheme. Simon, do you want to make comments on this?
Yeah, absolutely, Chairman. Strongly support this project. It's been a while in the making because it's been necessary to get permission and leases in place. I note that the PC are so enthusiastic about this that they're also putting in 16,000 from their own resources. They're not just relying on our grant, but this will utilise the whole of the grant allocated to Thurnaby and Bushby. So, yeah, we're going to hopefully see a marked improvement in people's health and activity when this goes in Thurnaby and Bushby, and they'll come along and use it.
Thank you. Joe, your portfolio again, really?
Yeah, it's great to see a scheme like this, and also, with it being available for all to use, that sounds fantastic. I've just got one question, if that's okay. Who would maintain the equipment? Would it be the parish council?
It will be the parish council.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think it's a great scheme.
Fantastic.
I'm happy to move it.
So it's been moved by Councillor Asher. Simon, you seconded it?
Yes, very happy to.
Okay, well, I'm very happy to support it. I think it's a tremendous scheme. And this is exactly what we said. It's all about investment in the community. And I keep using that phrase because that's what it is. It's investing in our communities. Absolutely the right thing we should be doing. Okay, all those in favour? Anyone against? That's carried. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
We now move on to Scraptoft Parish Council, which is the refurbishment of the Community Hub car park. This is supported by Councillor Elliott. The amount that's being requested is £38,462.89, which is the total cost of the project. Do our officers want to make a comment?
Just to summarise that the existing small hub car park is not sufficient to serve a large volume of users. So by refurbishing the Pavilion Road car park, it will ensure the small one can be reserved for people with disabilities. Users are currently reluctant to use this Pavilion car park, giving reasons such as uneven ground, poorly lit at night, no delineated parking spaces, and difficult for pedestrians to enter and exit. Complaints from local residents as well, with blocked driveways, people trying to find space, and noise within returning. So everybody would benefit from this. There's lots of visiting sports teams to the football pitch near there as well. So that's creating a sense of pride in the place and health and well-being being supported. I believe I have tonight.
Okay, hello there. Please.
Yeah, I'm Councillor Lee from Scraptoft Parish Council. Claire Betts did a very good summary of our application. It's becoming a health and safety issue now. We wish to refurbish the car park. Currently, it is not up to standard and dangerous to use. So we want to make it safe to use and increase the pride of the community in our community hub, which we are very proud of, and wish to increase the use, not only for Scraptoft residents, but also in the surrounding area, and also improve community cohesion by not having people coming to use the hub and then cramming up residential streets with cars. So.
Again, I mean, tremendous investment in the community, and I think it's very important. It is all about pride in the area, and I think this is a really good example. Simon?
Yeah, I mean, this is important. It's done because as the hub has footfall to the hub and use of the hub has increased, there are issues with the existing car park, which I know you've visited because we held a day visit there. It is often difficult because the hub is really busy. So this is effectively overfilled car park is important. It has been there for a number of years. Unfortunately, it was never constructed properly by the developers who built the house today. So it's always been not very good. But this will ensure it can be constructed as a proper car park standards, and people will be encouraged to use it. So
Fantastic. Joe?
Yeah, it sounds ideal. I mean, I like the fact that there'll be lighting as well. I think that's really important, especially, you know, when you go out at night as a woman, you can feel vulnerable when places are unlit. So yeah, I fully support this scheme.
Okay, are you formally moving, Simon?
yeah, I'm happy to move it. Yeah.
I think you have unanimous support for this. I'm very happy to support it. Tremendous scheme, all about pride in the community and money well spent. So all those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
indeed.
much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right, the next one on the agenda I have is Mistletoe and Walcott Parish Council, football goals for the field by Memorial Hall in Walcott. And this is for just over £1,500. Councillor Bateman has supported this and confirmed that through to the committee. The officers want to make any comments on this?
So at present, the field is only used for adult gym in one corner and some football training, but there's only one set of goalposts. So the group wished to provide a pair of proper and appropriately sized posts to extend the use of the field, both for training and a friendly kickabout by children and friends. Resident suggestions fed into this as part of the PC's larger project to enhance activities. And they feel it will promote health and well-being, friendship and community spirits. The field's not large enough for local league matches, but a lot of enjoyment can be had from a friendly kickabout or a bit of training. They're not here tonight. Again, it's fairly straightforward, not too much else to say.
So,
Yeah, another one that sort of comes under my portfolio, keeping active. So yeah, it sounds like a simple project, so not too much money. I'm very happy to support this. Can formally move that.
Simon, do you want to add anything? Okay, well, it has been moved and seconded. I'm very happy to support this. You know, it's a relatively small amount of money to really provide some additional facilities for the community. So all those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. Then move on to Great Bowden Residence Management Agreement, Management Company, Hursley Park. Purchase and installation of 8 new bins. This is an area which I'm actually one of the councillors for. I was very happy to support this. And the amount that's been requested is £6,764. Officer comment?
So the bins have been made from durable recycled plastic, but made to look like wood, as would be fitting in the park setting. And the current bins are old and broken and not in the optimum positions. And visitor feedback has fed into this, and the bins are now a priority. Visitor numbers have increased greatly. just to say, would use up the remaining parish allocation, but that is supported by the parish council. So they did have some money in round one and then waited and see other projects. And so now in final rounds, they're happy to put this forward. And that would sort of be the final phase of their original.
Yeah, the vice chairman of the parish council did speak to me, and I know the parish council are, and I'm very supportive of this. Is there anyone here tonight who wants to speak on this? I'll see you there, Chris.
But I'll give you a couple of comments if it's
Yeah,
helpful.
please.
I'm Chris Attenborough. I'm a resident in Great Bowden. I'm not on the parish council as such, but as you know, this has the support of the parish council, and I work with them on some of their subcommittees on things like the neighbourhood plan. So these are bins for the park. There's some new bins as well as some replacements. Over the last few years, the park's developed. We've seen sort of different, an increase in footfall, but also different patterns and sort of different places where it's apparent that we could do with bins and where litter accumulates. The park's recently been designated as a local wildlife site, which we're really pleased about, emphasising the sort of community value in the assessment. It scored really highly on community engagement, community access, as well as biodiversity. So yeah, fairly straightforward. Recycled bins, as you mentioned, trying to make sure that they're sustainable, very strong, very durable, expected to last for about 25 years. So really just trying to encourage, you know, a clean environment, pride for the community in the space. And residents will be covering the cost of servicing those bins and emptying those bins. So if you've got any questions, happy to answer them.
Thank you. Joe?
No questions, just to say I fully support the application. I'm happy to move it.
Yeah, just clarify, how will you service them and empty them then? You have an arrangement, do you, with a contractor?
Yeah, we have an existing contractor that services the site for things like hedge cutting, mowing and so on. So yeah, we've got an agreement with them and we fund the cost of that as residents.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you.
Lovely. So you're happy to move it, Joe? Simon, you seconding? Yeah. Okay. Any more comments from the officers? No, well, I'm very happy to support it. So all those in favour? Anyone against? That's carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. We're now moving on to the next item, which is South Kilworth Bowls Club, new extension of the patio, slabbing and etc. to the west side of the bowling green. Total cost of the project is 3,500. Councillor Nunn has been in touch, and Councillor Nunn is very much supportive of this scheme. Officers, Loretta, over to you.
Yes, I will just add that it promotes health and wellbeing and encouraging healthy life choices. The village has supported the bowling club for more than 90 years, and the sport of bowls encourages healthy exercise and social interaction with members, particularly those of the older community. And the green itself is a sustainable asset for future generations. So by improving the accessibility to the green by extending the slabbing, allowing players to move around more freely and safely.
Lovely, thank you very much indeed. Is there anyone here tonight? No? No one? Okay. Well, Councillor Nunn has been in touch, as you can see on the agenda. She's very much supportive of this. Joe, Simon?
Happy to move it.
Thank you, Joe. Simon? Okay, well, it has been moved and seconded. I'm very happy to support it. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. You wouldn't get an answer this quick if you went to the bank for a loan, would you really? Okay. We now move on to the next item, which is Houghton Fields Association, furniture for the new community pavilion, £2,281.70. Councillor Elliott has recorded his support for this. Over to the officers again.
Thank you, yes. So this is the total cost of the project covers the purchase of a central number of folding tables, chairs, furniture trolleys and ancillary items. With an expanding village population, there will be increasing demand for the use of the new facility by both community groups and private hirers. Houghton Association has liaised with the community and demonstrated there's considerable community support for this new facility. There are already several established user groups, the Bridge Club, Table Tennis Club, Social Club, Running Club, interest from a significant number of new user groups and plans to run a pop-up cafe. In addition, the building will be used by the Houghton Rangers football clubs with over 250 young people involved in the junior club, as well as adult and veteran teams.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone here this evening? Yes, please come forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Graham Warwick, I'm a trustee of Houghton Field Association. Yes, we're in the middle of this big project to replace the pavilion building on the field. As part of that, obviously going to refurbish it internally with upgraded furniture. The furniture that was there previously was in a very poor, dilapidated and worn state, certainly not suitable to grace a new building. So we'd be very pleased if the committee could be seen to help us with this contribution towards the new furniture.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, the total amount that's been asked for is £2,281.70. Son?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the balance of the funding which we wrote for Houghton. And yeah, I mean, the new pavilion is well under construction, isn't it? It's been a long time coming. I mean, the effort that's gone into getting this pavilion off the ground and getting the funding in place, and at some point it was really looking iffy because of building costs increasing, as we all know is happening everywhere. So all credit to them that they've got the contracts and it's underway. But yeah, this is kind of just the finishing bits. You do need some decent, no point in having a building without some decent feature on. So yeah, sure they'd like more if we had more, but this is the balance of what we've got left this round.
Right.
As we know, there'll hopefully be another round.
Well, fingers crossed. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a really good scheme. It's great to know that community buildings have been built and looked after. So I think it's very important to have indoor space to keep communities together, and it's something that we lack in my ward, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm really pleased that this is being done and happy to support this.
Are you formally moving it, Jeff?
Yeah, I can formally.
So I'm second. I mean, for me, the important thing is it says it quite well there. It's a focal point for the community, and that's absolutely tremendous. So I'm very happy to support it as well. Any other comments from the officers? No? Everyone happy? So all in favour? Anyone against? No, that is carried. And thank you very much for coming to see us.
Thank you.
The next one is Dutton Goes Green, purchase of litter picking equipment, £613. Councillor Bannister has supported this. Officers at all?
Yes, so the project promotes health and wellbeing and creating a sense of pride in village and promoting an awareness of the local environment. It's for the purchase of heavy-duty litter picking grabbers in 2 sizes and litter picking hoops to support Dutton Goes Green litter picking activities. Since Dutton Bassett is on a major route with a lot of traffic, litter does build up on the verges and throughout the village. We're very proud of our village, they say, and wish to keep it as clean and tidy as possible. And the whole village will benefit from a clean and tidier village.
Anyone here?
Not tonight.
No, no one here. No problems. Well, Councillor Bannister is extremely supportive of this. Councillor Asher, do you want to comment?
Yeah, I'm happy to move this. I know we've got the Leicestershire Wombles that do a lot of litter picking, which is, it always amazes me how many bags you can pick up, and I've been out and joined them myself. It's just amazing how much litter you can get and how addictive it becomes. Litter picking. I know I'm probably quite sad, but yeah, happy to support this.
Simon?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was just going to say the same. I hope they do have the wobbles and this equipment can help them, assist them to deal with it being on a busy, heavily trafficked route. So, yeah, good project.
I mean, we're very blessed with the number of volunteers we've got and all these schemes. They all add to pride in the community. So absolutely terrific. It has been moved and seconded. All those in favour? Anyone against? No, that is duly carried. So our officers will notify accordingly. Just trying to move on to the next item now. Is it? No. No, the one I've got here. They do this to confuse me. They had something on the bottom. Okay, Husbands Bosworth Parish Council construct a new garage workshop for the Millennium Pavilion for the equipment required to manage this facility. This is £13,250. It is supported by Councillor Nunn. Officers want to make any comments on this?
Yes, so this is to construct a new garage and workshop at the Millennium Pavilion for the equipment required to manage the facility. The project aligns with the District Council's priority of community leadership to create a sense of pride in place. And as the pavilion supports sports and recreational activities, meets the council value of health and well-being, the garage workshop is essential for the equipment required to manage the facility and the playing fields. It does also unlock a future potential to create a community area in the existing integral garage within the pavilion, but that would be a future development. So the improved storage facilities support the upkeep of the pavilion and the playing field and benefit all users.
Thank you very much.
And we do have representatives here.
Thank you. So is there anyone who'd like to come forward? My apologies for almost missing you out, but you're not, it is not my copy, so thank
I'll
you.
forgive you.
Thank you, very kindly.
Yes, for years now, the parish council has wanted to improve facilities in the pavilion and the recreation ground. And this became more important a few years ago when another important facility in the village, which is the church hall, which was used for lots of meetings, had to close due to total dilapidation. It's nearly falling down completely now. The parish council was determined to take action, so we applied for planning permission to extend the meeting room and also convert the integral garage to a parish office and community hub. We got the funding to extend the meeting room to more than double its size. That was tiny to start with. And in 2023, this was completed. However, the conversion to the parish office and community hub is a two-stage process because we've still got to provide a limited amount of storage for workshop space for the caretaker and stacking the inevitable amounts of folding chairs and trestle tables and things like that. And we think it might seem a bit strange to you to apply for community funding for a garage and workshop because it doesn't seem to have any obvious community benefit. But we must deal with this first stage of the process before we can actually have an empty garage and storage area in order to convert it to the office and community hub. Our existing office is tiny with workspace for only one person. It's got no wheelchair access, and we can't even talk to a wheelchair-based person on the pavement outside because there's almost permanent pavement parking. Can't even get a wheelchair through the space. It's also only rented, so we've got no security of tenure. We could be thrown out at any time and have nowhere to go. The new office would be more sustainable because we own the property at the pavilion, so we wouldn't have to pay any rent and obviously would have total security of tenure. It would be wheelchair friendly and it would work well with the meeting room and other facilities at the pavilion because they've all now been made completely wheelchair friendly. It's also got ample parking. Bliss.
And it's also got good walking access from the centre of the village. It'll give us workspace for a second staff member, enable us to display plans and maps for the public to come and look at rather than just looking at them online, or probably not at all. It'll have an exhibition area where we can display some of our historical artifacts, which are mostly just in storage at the moment because there's nowhere to put them. It also means that the clerk can oversee the smooth running of the external meetings and other functions which take place in the meeting room and on the recreation ground. Therefore, we're keen to proceed with this next stage of the work so that we can move on to the final stage of moving the office up there and making a fully accessible community hub.
But basically what you're saying, to summarise, is that this amount of money can act as a trigger to really deliver everything that you need.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
We just can't do the other part of it without having this.
I think that's really, really good, good use of the funding. Anybody, Jo?
Yeah, thanks for explaining that. It's definitely sounds like a well worthwhile project. And I think, even things like storage, people forget that, people that want to use facilities often do have equipment that needs to be stored, as you say, the tables and chairs. So it is such an important thing to think about everything, and the access, to hear that it will be friendly for wheelchair users is such an important thing. So yeah, I fully support this project. I'm happy to move it.
Simon?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's a tremendous project. It's the key to open up so much more. I'm happy to support it. It has been moved and seconded. Any other officer comment? No? Okay, well, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried.
Thank you very much.
The pleasure.
And while I'm here, we would like to offer our thanks to Soretta for her great help and support.
Now, we have a really good team of officers who are working on this. It's such an important project for everyone. But the thing is, it's so detailed, that we really do owe them a great debt for the work they're putting in. So thank you for your kind words. That's appreciated. Thank you. The next one I have on my list, unless you're going to tell me there's another one missing, is the Harbury Youth and Community Trust. And it's for £5,028 for bifold doors at the Cube Youth Centre. Contacted me as one of the ward members. I'm very happy to support this. Officers, comments?
Yes, so the Cube is committed to long-term relational youth and community work. Their vision is to see the young people of Market Harbour thriving in their communities, and their work is focused on promoting health and well-being and encouraging healthy life choices. So the project will significantly improve the building, replacing a key part of the structure to modernise, upgrade and enhance its facilities. So the project does involve capital work to replace 2 sets of double glazed bifold doors. And the Cube users make full use of both the building and the enclosed grounds, and the project will enhance the accessibility between the building and the outdoor areas, making it easier and safer to move between the two and safely vacate the building in an emergency. And so we do have a representative here tonight.
Would you like to come forward and...
Apologies, Councillor Knowles. I should also add there is a special condition attached to the application. HDC, the landlord, require formal consent to be given prior to the completion of works, but have provided HYACT with a letter of interest to support their application.
That's lovely, thank you. Can I just ask a question? Is that microphone switched on? It's a bit difficult to see from here.
I think it is, yes.
That's lovely. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, over to you.
Okay, thank you. I'm Simon Bentley. I'm the charity administrator for the Cube. Soretta, thank you for that really good summary. I'll just add a couple of things. For those not familiar with the Cube is in a wonderful setting in Market Harbour because it's immediately adjacent to the Symington Recreation Ground, and it's located on the site of the former Bowls Club there. So we have a lovely purpose-built youth centre that looks out onto Symington's Wreck and then looks the other way onto a wonderful little enclosed open space, garden space, as it were. So the older youngsters that come to us can go out onto the recreation ground, and sometimes the younger ones can go into the internal space, as it were, really. That's how it's often used. And the bifold doors that we're talking about really facilitate that access from within the building to outside. And they were made from a material that hasn't really stood the test of time. So the project is all about improving, enhancing, upgrading those facilities, those doors, so that they are safe, durable, robust, fit for purpose for the future, and enable people to fully utilise the building inside and out.
Thank you. Sure.
Yeah, I'm really happy to support this scheme. I think, it's great to support our youth and to give children and young adults somewhere to go. Everybody's quick to criticise them when they're hanging around, but there needs to be things for young adults to do, and I think this is really important.
Simon, you'd have to.
Yeah, absolutely. Good project.
Thank you. I mean, we do have the youth council as well, which is, furthermore, the sort of commitment that we've got to try and bring every member of our community into how things are being done for the district. I'm very happy to support this. I was very happy to add my name to it when I was contacted. So it has been moved and seconded. Any commentary from the officers at all? No, nothing. Everyone's happy. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We now move on to the next item, which is the RFM Studios, which is known as Brickwork Studios. We're talking here about a lockable storeroom, cabinets, etc. The total amount that is being requested is £16,012. There's a really wide range of items on this list. So are you going to present this, Sarita? Thank you, please. Yeah.
Yes, so this application comprises of 5 items. First of all, creating a community garden, installing benches, planters, new fencing, gate and storage to the front garden area to provide a more usable and flexible outdoor space. Installation of a keypad door control system to allow automated access to the control room and storeroom, allowing maximisation and automation of studio usage. Installation of secure lockable cabinets, installation of new heating and cooling systems, which are essential to the safe operation of the studio, and additional studio equipment. This meets the council priority of health and wellbeing. So RFM Studios CIC promote the health and wellbeing benefits that music provides. Not only the proven mental and cognitive health benefits of playing musical instruments or singing, but also the sense of community that the studio provides as a hub for musicians and music lovers in the area. It also creates a sustainable environment with the installation of more energy efficient heating and cooling systems. And RFM Studios CIC have a long history of engaging with and supporting businesses, providing free entertainment for local events and affordable PA and audio equipment hire to encourage more music-based offerings to the community, and using district-based suppliers to complete the works in the application. So we do have a representative here tonight. We do also have a special condition on this application as well. So alterations to the property are conditional on written consent from the landlord. RFM Studios CIC have a sublease with HYACT, and permission is also required from HDC as the superior landlord. And RFM Studios also have a letter of interest from HDC to support their application.
Thank you. And that is now on file. Would you like to come forward and share with us? Thank you.
My name's Martin Whiteman. I'm one of 3 directors at Brickwork Studios, but also the man at the coalface as well. So I can speak to how these improvements are going to affect us. Thank you for the summary, Saretta. The keypad entry is going to be a significant improvement, and the way that actually benefits the people that use Brickwork Studios is it opens up the control room, which is pretty much where all the production goes on. So if you're doing rehearsals, those go on in the studios, but in the production area, it's where the mixing desk is, the computers and all that stuff. And that's been used only by when staff are in attendance previously, but there's no reason why it can't be used unattended by anyone who wants to. And the maglocks allow us to offer access to that pretty much 24/7. We do have a curfew at 9:30, so it would be, you can't get in after that. So that's going to open up another space in the studio for community use without staff being present on the premises. The other maglock system in the office, which is an office sort of storeroom, but it does have a small kitchen facility as well. That's going to open up the office for clients that are using the rehearsal rooms in the evenings to make tea and coffee. It also has the locker system, which we envisage allowing us to make hire items even more accessible and easy for people hiring to pick up and drop off. I guess the simplest way to explain that would be it would work similar to a sort of Amazon locker style thing, where if you want to hire the PA system, you'll be given a code. You can let yourself through the front door with the existing code system, then let yourself into the office with the code and pick up your PA and also do the reverse to drop it off. So that's going to improve like accessibility to those services and also put less burden on our staff who work voluntarily for all the rehearsal facilities and all the hire facilities. So staff don't get paid any money for like servicing those aspects of what we do. The garden out front, that space is currently just a space that people walk through. Nobody spends any time in that space whatsoever. It's surrounded by the fences, so there's a nice sort of windbreak sort of there in the hedges. It's a sort of secluded area. So it would be really nice, not just for the people using the studio to be able to like use that area to socialise in the nice weather, but also for anyone on the rec who just wants to come and hang out and have a little bit of a quieter space at the front of the studio. The studio equipment that we're looking to get funding for is really sort of things that are almost consumables at a studio. So it's like microphones and headphones. We had those when the studio started nearly 10 years ago now, and they've been working hard and in use throughout the day for 10 years now. And of course, they're getting to end of life. They're dented, the microphones are starting to develop faults, the headphones, the plastic has degraded on those. So it's time to like give those a bit of a refresh and allow our clients to like have nice equipment to use and stuff that's all working. It's always been a big desire for our studio to have all working equipment. I know a lot of other rehearsal studios have equipment that is faulty or not working properly, so we want to keep the place as good as possible for the community. And just I know I'm going on a little bit here, but just to say about our engagement with the community, we have around 100 different people come every month to the studio, and those people are coming multiple times. Many bands come every week to rehearse, and that's an age group going from very, very young people, I think as young as 7 years old, having drum lessons at the studio, all the way through to like mature people up to the age of, I think our oldest person is 82, or at least that's what they told me. So a very diverse group of people that are coming to the studio, and we provide a hub for those musicians. There's a lot of interaction between the musicians, bands form, and all of these aspects will improve what we can deliver with the space that we have. And I think that's really what it's really about, is maximising the building that we have to deliver as much as possible with what we have.
Thank you for that. I'm going to get this terribly wrong, I'm sure, but a few years ago, I was given a CD by Barbara Johnson.
Yeah.
And she said to me, there you go. And she attributed this as being the place where she did all the hard work on it.
That's right.
One day that's going to be a #1 hit.
Yeah.
I've still got it. Joe, do you want to come in?
Yeah, it's really good to hear about this facility, because I actually didn't know it existed. So it's really nice to hear about it. I absolutely love live bands, love to see people playing instruments, and yeah, so very much supportive of this, because it obviously provides a much needed facility, as you say, for the young and the old, so, and any age group. So yeah, really happy to support this, happy to move it.
Simon?
Yes, everything that Joe said. If we can encourage people to get involved in music and bands, that's fantastic.
I think in memory of Barbara's musical efforts, God rest her soul, she's much missed.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is a tremendous scheme, reaching out to so many people, so I'm very happy to support it. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried unanimously.
Thank you very much
for that.
And thanks to the funding officers for raising the awareness of this and helping guide us through it. Thank you.
Thanks again. Right, I've now got on my list a statement to make. The application from the third Market Harbour Scout Group was considered by Market Harbour Special Expense Advisory Panel at its meeting on the 10th of September. The advisory panel were made aware that negotiations were underway concerning the heads of terms for a new lease for the Scouts building, and it seems these negotiations are still not quite there. The grants panel is supportive of this application. However, to ensure we can offer the grant fully, I propose we defer this application for the Section 106 funding and hold the community grant award from this year's allocation until the next meeting. During this time, I will ask the officers to work with the support the third Market Harbour Scout Group where needed, and I look forward to receiving the application at the next meeting in November. Everyone happy with that? Officers, any comments at all? No?
Yeah, just to clarify then, this is looking for two sources of funding, is it?
Yes.
Community and
And the two of them are related. So
were we considering them together or separately?
Separately.
Okay, so we're deferring them both.
Both of them get deferred, yes.
Thank you.
Thanks for that. We'll move on. So you know, just make sure that we're on the right one. We're on the same agenda. That's a good start. Glenmorton Parish Council, installation of new grass mat safety surface in the toddlers play area. The amount requested is £10,000. Councillor Bateman has been in touch and is supportive of this, and we do thank him for that. Officers, do you want to come in and make some comments on it? Right.
So yes, the replacement of the existing safety and grass combination surface within the toddlers play area at the village recreation ground. This will be with a new grass mat safety surface across the whole area. When the ground is muddy in the autumn, winter especially, the area stops being used as toddlers get muddy clothes and the equipment becomes muddy from use, especially the slide. So by removing the grass, it will prevent this and encourage increased use during this time period, with benefits to the children and also parents by encouraging them to be active during the winter months, which would obviously meet the value of health and well-being, with the aspect of play being crucial to children's development. The only thing I need to draw attention to is that the Parish Council has also put in their Section 106 funding for the remaining amount, which is 17,566, which I understand that element will be considered on the 29th of October.
Right, so the two,
So it would just be a special conditions like
Special
that,
condition.
it was funded by Section 106 as well.
okay, is there anyone here tonight? Yes, would you like to come forward? Thank you.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, Committee. Julian Kent, I'm the Chair of Gilmorton Parish Council. Hopefully the Chair still has a few pigeons in his loft. Can head our way after this little session. As Claire has summarised, the toddlers play area at the moment, which is a separate fenced area on the recreation ground in Gilmorton just for the tots, has a combination of an existing safety mat area under each piece of equipment, but linked by just normal grass. And in the winter, when the grass cutting stops, the grass does still continue to grow for a bit. And if you go down there on a Sunday morning after a sort of heavy night of rain, the grass is wet and the kids get wet toddling across it as they're inclined to do at that age. And then that mud and grass and what have you gets transferred onto the equipment and basically makes it unpleasant to use. I'm very aware of this because I have a 3.5-year-old grandson, and for the past sort of 2 years, we've been making regular visits up there. And I think the aspect of making it more usable during the winter is really important in terms of the community, because younger mothers do congregate in this area, obviously with their kids, and you get that winter period of hibernation where people don't go out and they don't connect in the way that they do in the sort of better weather. And hopefully improving this area would generally benefit everybody. In terms of the ownership, the recreation ground is land that's owned by the parish council, and we've invested as the parish council in it, and there is a contribution that the parish council would make towards this project financially, as well as the grant money. The last big activity or investment on the rec was a multi-use slide tower. That's probably not the right description, but you know, the sort of thing quite high off the ground with a curly-whirly slide down and other things involved, but that was aimed more at the older teenage end at the max age group. So we feel this is right now to balance and invest at the toddler end to make it more usable. And as Claire has said, we are hoping to get additional grant funding from Section 106 monies for parks and gardens and children's play area that is there waiting for a good project to come along. And this one seems to be an opportunity to combine the two together, plus the funding from the parish council to get where we need to go.
Fantastic. As you say, also improves the accessibility for prams, wheelchairs, everything. So
yeah,
absolutely wide reaching. Joe?
Yeah, sounds like a really good scheme. As you say, it's important to try and keep people getting fresh air and meeting up and keeping the connections going, especially for young mums with little ones. I think it's really important that they connect with other adults. So yeah, happy to support this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, quite happy.
Okay, so Joe, you're moving it?
Yeah.
Simon seconded. It has been moved and seconded. I'm very happy to support it. Tremendous scheme. All those in favour? Anyone against? That's carried.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Claire, for your help.
North Kilworth Parish Council is a redevelopment of the village playground. Councillor Nunn has been supporting this. The amount requested is £10,000. Total cost of the project, 87,000.
Yes, that's right.
I'll take it that's you, Soretta, yes? Thank you.
Yes, so yes, as you say, the total project cost is £87,143, and the parish council also have an application with S106 for £35,393.80. They have secured a grant from a local wind farm of £35,000 and are contributing reserves of £6,749.92. So it is a very comprehensive redevelopment of the village playground and meeting the council values of community leadership. It's led by North Kilworth Parish Council in response to sustained resident feedback, and the project demonstrates strong local leadership and engagement. It promotes health and well-being. The new facility will encourage active outdoor play, improving children's physical health, motor skills and social interaction. Sensory panels and accessible features ensure children with additional needs can participate fully, and picnic benches provide rest areas for carers and older residents, supporting intergenerational use. The chosen contractor uses sustainably sourced materials, and the design incorporates durable, low maintenance features such as wet core surfacing, reducing future resource demands and making slightly accessible. Using a local supplier minimises transport emissions, supporting low carbon delivery principles. And the project is delivered by a small independent business based in the Harbour District. And the need has been evidenced over several years through formal safety inspections, community engagement and sustained feedback from residents. And the parish council has undertaken engagement activities to test community preferences, sharing designs from several suppliers. So the redevelopment will transform a worn, partially decommissioned space into a safe, inclusive and high quality community asset. So there is a special condition, the first being full funding of the project, as this is a grant application, and also requiring evidence of legal instruction to register the land in the name of the parish council, since the land was conveyed to the parish council before it was a legal requirement to register this formally. So we do have representatives here tonight.
Well, I'm just going to say, I think that North Kilworth Parish Council to be congratulated. I think they've really been very creative in the way they put this together to try and make sure they get every available penny that they can. And I think that I applaud them for that. Tremendous. Do you want to come forward and give us some information?
Hello, my name's Dr. Catherine Burke and I'm parish councillor for North Kilworth. There's not really much else to add. You've Sarah given a very good overview of what the aim of our application is. As mentioned, it's a joint application with the Section 106 monies in order for us to be able to make a playground that North Kilworth residents will be very proud of. I've got 2 school-aged children myself, and so I'm regularly asked as I enter the playground by the children when they're getting their new one. I really hope that we're able to move forward with this project.
Well, congratulations. I think you've been tremendously creative how you put this bid together. So I think it's tremendous, and for me, it's a great scheme. Investing in the community again. Simon?
Yeah, I was just interested to know which, have you chosen a supplier for the equipment? Did you do like a procurement to find the best one?
Yes, this is it. So I've given lots of evidence to Saratha about we did multiple different quotes and we discussed it as a parish council. I also informally showed various different each supplier had given me a map of what they would want to create, and I informally showed that to some of the mums in the school playground as well as at the park, and together with the parish council and this we agreed upon a supplier called Playscapes. They are based in Swinford, and so therefore it really was feeling the best for the North Kilworth. Given that local supplier, we feel that they provided the most comprehensive value for money. They not only will supply and install the playground equipment, but they will do all the groundworks. They regularly work with schools. The playground itself is situated next door to North Kilworth School, so that would be helpful with regards to safeguarding on the basis of that they are next door and are viewing the little receptions playground which it backs onto.
The fact they're close by on your doorstep, if there's any issues,
this is it.
They're not like the other end of the country. So that's interesting. Good to know, isn't it, that we've got a provider in our district.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, just thanks for the information. As you say, it looks like a really good scheme. It will make a massive difference, I'm sure, to your village and the people in it. So yeah, happy to move it.
Simon, seconded?
Yeah, absolutely.
It has been moved and seconded. I'm absolutely delighted to support it. Any other comments? No? Everyone's happy? All those in favour? Anyone against? That's carried. Thank you very much indeed. The next one I have on the list is Great Eastern Village Hall, renovation upgrade of kitchen in the Village Hall. Amount requested is £9,997.35. And there's also a 106 built into this as well, I can see. So is it you, Soretta, that's going to? Good, on you go.
Yes, so the Village Hall have secured £3,676.57 from S106 funding on the condition of full funding of the project. It's for an upgrade of the kitchen in Great Eastern Village Hall, promotes health and well-being, encouraging healthy life choices. In a village environment with limited public spaces, isolation and loneliness represent significant issues which are known to be detrimental to health and well-being. The growth and consolidation of activities offered by the hall in recent years are having tangible results in bringing people together and ensuring that people have opportunities for social interaction and connection. This is especially true for older residents. The project will encourage the residents to have a sense of pride in the kitchen, and the hall can be utilised to its full potential. The kitchen was last renewed in 1986 and now due for a complete overhaul, and the proposed upgrade will ensure conformity with current regulatory standards. Recent increased usage of the hall and the kitchen facility has increased the need for greater chilled storage, food preparation areas and serving facilities, all of which are prioritised in the proposed renovation. The hall is a central hub of the community with regular activities taking place every weekday in addition to events most weekends, and used by a substantial proportion of the community, with groups ranging from preschool children and teenagers to the older residents of the village. And we do have representatives tonight.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to come forward? I will just say Councillor Rickman, the ward councillor, has added his support to this as well.
Hi, I'm Teresa Chapman. I'm an active member of the Great Eastern Village Hall Committee. Thank you, Soretta. I don't think I can put it a lot better, really, but I'll just add to what you said. Yeah, it's a really important social hub for our village, the Great Eastern Village Hall, and we're very fond of it and very proud of it. It does host many different groups, all of our clubs and societies, and it also hosts bigger events throughout the year, like fetes, quizzes, that type of thing. As you've rightly said, it's letting us down a bit now. It's a bit tired, and it's not really been materially changed for about 40 years. So it needs invigorating. I think as well, you know, when we did the last neighbourhood plan, our residents did actually indicate that an upgrade would be very welcome and very beneficial too, which we've taken on board. So yes, we want a bright and welcoming space. We want it to be safe, hygienic, functional, and actually better able to support the increased footfall that we now have as a result of a couple of our new developments. As you've highlighted, we have particular issues with our storage, with our refrigeration, and also we want to try and make it a bit more user friendly, particularly for our elderly user groups, our good companions. So we're looking at drawers rather than cupboards, we're looking at our taps. So we're trying to find something that's easy for them to use. We do want to stay competitive, our village hall, and we do not only want to retain our existing customers, but we also want to be able to attract new customers, because our rental income is actually totally vital in our funding model. So yes, we think that by giving us a new bright and vibrant kitchen will be future proofing our space for our next generation. So thank you, and also thank you to Soretta and Katie for all your help and support with our project. Thank you.
That's a pleasure, and thank you very much. As I think it's summarised there about creating a sense of pride in place, and that's exactly what this will do. It's more user friendly and it looks more impressive. As I say, after 40 years, you know, it's. I wonder whether it should be in a museum. Some of the things you never know. They might Arbor Museum might be interested in some of it. But I mean, quite honestly, it's a tremendous investment and you know, well structured. Simon.
I mean, absolutely, it must be well past its sell-by date. So,
You could say that.
so I'm just interested to understand: is this because you've struggled to find funding for this project? It's been so long, or is it just not got around to doing it? Have you been actively looking for funding, and this has been you know this project?
It's one project in a number of projects, to be honest with you, but it's coming. Yeah, we've become more aware that it's something that we really do need to tackle now. You know, our surfaces are getting pretty well worn, and you know, we're looking at it from a safety and hygienic point of view. And from a commercial point of view as well. We're trying to up the ante a bit because we do all our own fundraising and we want to remain competitive. So we've done a number of projects, but this is now the one we decided to focus on.
Yeah, it sounds like it is a much needed improvement. So yeah, I'm happy to support, happy to move that.
You move it, Simon, you seconding that?
Yes.
Well, I'm very happy to support you. And I'm just picking up on some of the comments that have been made about, you know, how important this is and all the work our officers are putting in. I just want to add this because it's an opportune moment to do it. I've just asked if we could get some idea of how much money we've actually allocated this evening, if yours goes through, and I'm sure it's going to because all three of us are supporting it. And tonight we've actually allocated £205,785 and 94p. The 94p is very important. Have to balance the books, but you know, it's all about investment in our community. You say it's about the community spirit, it's pride in our place. So tremendous. So thank you for what you're doing. It has been moved and seconded. No more comments? All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried.
Thank you very much for your support. Thank you.
Thank you for that. That's an incredible figure. And thank the officers for the work you're doing to deliver that. That really is incredible. Right. So that concludes the first section, which is the community grants. We now move on to the section 106 grant applications. And this comes under Steve, you might want to make some comments on this to start off with, yeah?
Thank you, Chair. So this is the report for Section 106 grants applications, and in summary, funding known as Section 106 monies or S106 are used to develop or improve community facilities and various open spaces, and this funding is secured through a planning obligation request, which is an agreement by deed attached to the land that is the subject of a planning permission. Contributions secured through planning obligations are used to mitigate or compensate for what would otherwise be a negative planning impact of a proposed development. And applications for funding over 25,000 are determined by this Cabinet Subcommittee for Grants. We've got 3 S106 grant applications that have been submitted and assessed during this consultation process, with 3 being eligible for consideration at the meeting. The S106 grants officer and officers from the authority have considered the project's applications, reference 02, 03 and 04, and they're within the appendix to recommend for funding in line with Community Infrastructure Levy or SIL compliance and the criteria set out in the Section 106 grant guidance notes, and special T's and C's are attached within the appendices as well. So in terms of recommendations, the Cabinet Subcommittee is asked to consider the grant applications of Fletney Duck Pond, North Kilworth Parish Council and Third Market Harbour Scouts Group, who we've already discussed earlier in the meeting. and delegate authority to the Director of Communities and Wellbeing in consultation with the Head of Legal Services to enter into any necessary legal agreements to facilitate and properly document the legal obligations between the Council and any subsequent grant receipt of the funding. The reasons for recommendations. The recommendations that have been put forward to the subcommittee have been assessed against the requirements for funding, which are based on projects fulfilling the key S106 criteria, being still compliant and demonstrating project evidence of need. That's it from the report, Chair. Would you like to move on to?
Yeah, I mean, basically what we're looking at is two items.
We're looking at two, yes.
Two items.
Correct.
So you've got item A, which is the Fletney Duck Pond Players. There's £127,000 just over on that one. And then the second item, which is item B, is the North Kilworth Parish Council, which is £35,393 and 8p. So we'll start off with the Fletney Duck Pond Players item, which is 127,000. Any other officer want to add anything at all?
Yeah, okay, that'd be great. Thank you very much. So the Fletney Duck Pond Players, they're a theatre group. Their project is for theatre equipment. The total project cost is £131,423 and 9p. And the amount that they're requesting is £127,000. Sorry, £127,170 and 78p, which is the total amount that's in the community facilities contribution at the moment at Fletney. The remainder of the amount will be made up by the group through their fundraising. So the players were formed in 1998 with an aim to inspire, create passion, thought and fun for company members and audiences alike, presenting public amateur performances suitable for all ages and groups within the local community and the surrounding villages, and providing recreational and leisure facilities which are in the interest of the social welfare of all the groups in the community. The group are currently situated in the village hall but have outgrown the space due to its popularity, and so have been working closely in collaboration with the parish council in agreeing a long-term home in the new sports centre being run by the parish council. So that the space can be multifunctional, the theatre equipment will comprise of a modular immovable stage. This request for funding will also include installation of the lighting and sound infrastructure, backdrop and curtains. There is a list in the appendix. I can go through it if you want me to, but we do have a representative here, so I'm sure that they would give a lot more passion to the project than me reading out the list. There's just a couple of other things if I could cover.
Please, absolutely.
So the timelines are relatively quick once they get going, but because it is tied into the sports centre that is currently being built, they will be installing the items within the last 2 to 3 months of the sports centre being built. This currently is looking to be for the theatre, if awarded, it will be sort of beginning of next summer. That the project will get started. It's in 2 phases. The T's and C's will include phased payments as it's over a key decision. The theatre group are aware of that and have been very pragmatic about that. Also, just to say that the parish council were going to be here tonight in support of the project as well, but unfortunately they couldn't make it. They have sent statements to express their additional support for it, and one of the sentences is that they're fully aligned with the Duck Pond Players' proposals and are enthusiastic about welcoming them as a valued community partner to the new centre. Also, it's got joint support from Councillor Bilby, councillor at the time of the application, and Councillor Birch as well.
Fantastic. So both councillors at the time. 127,000. It's a huge investment, and it's a very big project and very exciting project, I think. So would you like to come forward and say a few words? Thank you.
Hello. My name is Beth Haggerty. I'm a trustee and the charity administrator for Fletney Duck Pond Players and a founder member. We formed 27 years ago. The village hall has been our home for 27 years. It's a fantastic village hall. We love it. But unfortunately, we have outgrown it. Our village has grown tremendously over the last 27 years. And over the last 7 years, we've seen it grow even more. We have our capacity in the auditorium is limited to a maximum of 140. We sell out. We did a show in May. Our tickets sold out in 48 hours. We had a waiting list of people who wanted to come and see the show. We couldn't accommodate them. In addition to that, we've worked for over 7 years on this project with the parish council. It all came to a halt during COVID, and then we started up again. We work very closely with Drum and Dance, who is the dance studio in the village. She has over 200 students. They have to leave the village to perform, which means 200 kids and their parents and the grandparents. I was one of them. And aunties and uncles have to travel to Countersthorpe or Milton or even Kettering recently to perform. The village hall has a lovely stage, but the backstage facilities are very limited, which means there is no space for the number of children to change. Children in performance have strict safeguarding regulations. Different ages, different sexes have to be segregated. They have to also have chaperones. In our pantomimes which we do yearly, we've been performing pantomimes in the village for 27 years. Until about 12 years ago, we used to use a lot of the kids from Drum and Dance in our pantos. And we had an annex at the village hall, which sadly fell foul to an arson attack. So overnight, the village hall lost its annex. We also lost the capacity to have the children in our pantomimes because there's no space for them to change in the village hall. We did a low in May. We had a cast of 22. 6 of our cast had to change in the storage area of the village hall because the changing facilities backstage aren't adequate for our cast. In addition to that, we worked closely with Shine Theatre Group, who formed last year, who are a kids theatre group for kids aged 3 to 10. And they did their first showcase in the village hall in January, February this year. And we provided the technical equipment for them and helped them with their costumes, etc., because they're a setup. And they struggled. The kids who weren't on stage had to sit in the auditorium for the kids so that the kids who were on stage had room to change and then move around, which then limited the number of seats they had in the auditorium for people to come and watch the kids perform. So the kids were watching themselves effectively. So they both Drum and Dance and Shine Theatre are fully behind us and supportive of what we want to do. We also spoken with the local scout group who are looking to do gang shows again. They used to do them at Welland Park years ago, haven't done one for years. Again, the village hall can't accommodate all the kids. And there's a passion in our village for performance, particularly amongst the younger people. But there's a gap where Shine Theatre finish at 10 years old. We don't start till 16-year-olds. We'd like to include more younger people in our group, more younger people to perform. It's good for the mental health, it's good for the well-being, and it's good for the physical health. And we haven't the capacity to do that. So we're hoping that this facility in the new building at the recreation ground will become a community building and a community theatre. We also have close ties with the football club, only because my grandkids play football, no, but we do. And they have to leave the village for presentation evenings. They have to go out of Fleckney to be able to do a presentation evening because, as you heard earlier, our football club in Fleckney is huge. There's about 500 kids up there on a Sunday morning, and it's fantastic. But when they want to present these kids with trophies and things, there's nowhere for them to do it in Fleckney. We're hoping with this new facility, they can have football presentations there. We've got live bands in the village. The village hall hasn't got the acoustic surroundings. It's a wooden structure. So neighbours quite often complain of noise, even when we're doing our productions. So it's a building we're hoping will open up an awful lot more for the village to be able to access performing arts, public transport links to our village. The buses stop at 6:30. If you want to go into Leicester to watch a show, it's expensive. You have to get a taxi there or a taxi back or parking. And a lot of our older members in the village can't afford to do that. So being able to provide them with really good quality live entertainment in their own village is fantastic. And so that's why we're working hard with the parish council to try and achieve this dream, something that we've been working on for a long, long time. And yeah, that's our passion.
Incredible scheme. It's a huge investment, but a wonderful opportunity. And certainly from my point of view, I think it's something we would want to support. Absolutely. Jo, do you want to come in?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that to us. It was really good to hear you talking about it, and it shows how passionate you are about it. And again, another scheme that we wouldn't have a clue these things are going on without this, without this committee and hearing about it. And it's just brilliant to hear about all this stuff that's going on in the community. So yeah, I'm fully supportive of this scheme. Yeah.
I think your ambition for what you're trying to do and what the parish council's trying to do is absolutely fantastic. I think it's probably the best project I've seen come forward, both for the hall, sports hall, and what you're trying to do in many years. Probably have to go back to I don't know, something like Bilston's Coplo Centre to find something, and the council help with that. I think it's wonderful what you're trying to do. I think what you'll have, looking at this list of equipment, you'll probably have the best equipped hall outside of the towns in the district. With this, you'll have people wanting to come and use it if you have any spare capacity. So taken together with what with the provision of the sports hall, sports centre, and then this performing arts and theatre provision, I just think it's wonderful. Yeah, absolutely. Very happy to support it.
You moving it on.
Hope you get it off the ground and working.
Thank you.
I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to move it.
Jo? Okay, any other comments?
Sorry, I just realised I forgot to mention the spend by date for the contribution. There's no concerns around it. It's August 2029, so it fits in fine for the timelines that we're currently being told in the PC and the degree we're working to.
I think one of the things it is important that we remind you of the spend by dates, because obviously,
yes,
we don't want to lose the money. It's too important to our communities. So thank you for that, Katie. Any other comments at all? No? Everyone happy? All those in favour? Anyone against? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just take this opportunity to thank Katie? She's worked very closely with my colleague Tony on this, and your support has been invaluable. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. We've got the second one, which is North Kilworth Parish Council, 35,393 for upgrading the play equipment. Katie?
Yeah, I'll just say a couple of things on this one. I won't add too much because obviously Sareta's already gone into a lot of detail. Councillor Black has also gone into a lot of detail. I'm sure she won't mind answering any further questions if you do have any.
Yeah.
But just around the Section 106 element of it. So again, we've got support from Councillor Nunn. It's for the upgrade of the playground. The request from the Section 106 funding is £35,393.08. So this comes from several contributions ranging from community facilities, amenity green space, parks and gardens, and children and young people. Spend by dates on this range from the earliest one is December 2026, and then the next ones after that are in 2028 and then 2029. But the project itself, once they get going, is only going to be 4 weeks. So again, don't really have any concerns around those spend by dates at the moment. Again, it'll be all the same terms and conditions as Sareta has stated, obviously it'll need to be a fully funded project, which you'll know it will do because you've already approved the community grant one.
Yeah.
And also just to say, for Councillor Butler, she worked really hard on this project over the last many years with all the consultation and pulling everything together, not just around the funding as well, but evidence of need, consultation, etc. in the village as well.
Do you want to add anything at all to this? Please.
Was that this isn't just going to be a playground for children. We are included in the park is going to be 2 picnic benches so that everybody from the village can use it as a place to go. There is no other place within North Kilworth that has picnic benches for people to be able to sit down.
Fantastic. Great scheme. Really is. It has been moved and seconded, I think. You moved over your son.
We moved the community grants, but not.
Oh, we haven't moved this one. It's not excitement, did it? Okay. Joe, do you want to move this?
Yeah, I'll move it. And just to add again, thanks to the officers tonight, and it's clear how well you're working with the community. So I just wanted to add my thanks as a portfolio holder to the officers and to all the community, you know, the parish councillors, the different community groups who all volunteer to make this district better for everyone. And I think it's really showing tonight how much of a difference these grants and the 106 million is making. I know everybody complains about development and stuff, but there are, I think, good things happening out there. It's not just all bad. So thanks to everyone.
Simon, do you want to second it? No, I mean, with this is all tremendously good stuff. This committee has the pleasure of seeing the good use of this money. It's vitally important to our community, and thank you to all our parish council colleagues, etc., for the work you're doing in all the community groups. We are really blessed with some wonderful parish councils in this area and some incredible volunteers. Absolutely wonderful. So it has been moved and seconded. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. Thank you very much indeed. We now move on to the next item. On the appropriate page. There we go. And the next item is the underspend for Harbour District's community grant year 1 options and consideration for community grant year 2 and 3. Rachel, you've been very patient sitting there online. Do you want to say something to us? Oh yeah.
It's been really good listening to all those projects. Actually, it's been great. I've just brought this report to the Cabinet Grant Subcommittee to this evening, following Cabinet's decision in July 2024, where it first approved the criteria and the community grant. Part of that agreement was to ensure that if there was any underspend, that this Cabinet Subcommittee grant would consider the expenditure of any grants underspend and look at a process to move that forward. So the report in front of you tonight explores some options that we would like to consider. These recommendations would be that the underspend from year 1 of the community grant is offered as a separate underspend grant, and it has the same approval and criteria as set out in this report that does actually reflect what is in the current community grants, and that all applications for this underspend grant would be considered by the community grant subcommittee. Adding up, as far as I'm aware, from what's been awarded this evening under the community grants would leave an underspend of around £73,000 to go forward to the underspend grant pot. The criteria would also look at just as changing in the wording, where we've established that essential repair work could be considered, not annual maintenance, but essential repair work. This will help things like historic structures and buildings that have a meaning to the community. And I think that's been pulled out from the first year of the grants. And it's also then we were suggesting that for years 2 and 3, that we actually run 3 grant processes, with round 4 being the underspend grant. So we're not actually making a second year running into a third year type thing. So we actually bring the grants back into the annual process, so we're not extending them. So they're the recommendations for the members to consider tonight, and I'll take any questions.
Well, my only comment, Rachel, we did discuss this and have discussed it at length. You and I think the thing is, for me, the important thing is a lot of this is time critical. So obviously any minor changes, the officers are quite confident we don't have to do anything other than process them through this panel, and everybody's happy with that. And I think that the amount of money that we're looking at, 73,000, is a nice sum of money. But just to clarify it, what we're saying is that that's available for anyone, anywhere, to come forward with an application. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
Okay, so there's no.
So so we're also widening it for those groups that were who work in more than one parish, because we've established that there are community groups that work across the district that were unable to apply for the funding because they don't actually align to one parish council. So there are some groups that work in more than one parish, and they would be available to apply for this grant.
Probably thanks for that. Need some more information.
Yeah, so the criteria basically, in order to manage demand, we didn't want obviously too many places applying. We know we've got lots of projects coming, and we know we've got year 2 and year 3 funding coming. In order to kind of manage it, as Rachel said, we've got a new criteria about groups that are district wide that haven't been able to apply. The other criteria that we put is that they're in parishes that haven't received any community grant funding in the first year. Parishes have not used their full allocation. And so we know that in the previous round, we had more applications from small parishes than we could give. The small parish pot was fully spent before the end of round 3. And so Claire and Soretta have been contacting some of those smaller parishes to try and encourage them to apply. Obviously, it's great for us to be able to have those contacts with those rural areas that are often underserved, have few facilities and things. And then also, if there are parishes who haven't used their full allocation, so we know there are some parishes who struggled to get things together, the timescales didn't quite work for them, kind of various reasons. So what we don't want to do is to give funding to a group that's going to take a parish above their individual allocation, because then we worried that we'd be inundated with applications. And then if we did get more applications than we got funding for, which we don't think is likely, we have some other criteria just in terms of demonstration of need and things like that. So what we'll do is we'll run that round alongside year 2. Obviously, we'll do a push to some of those groups again. We know some of them have got projects in the pipeline, and we'll work with groups to kind of manage the funds so that the allocation comes out of whatever's most advantageous in terms of spending the money to get it to the most organisations over the 2 years.
Okay, Jo, please. Thanks.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of these things we've already discussed at length, with it being on my portfolio as well. I'm really pleased to see that we can offer grants now to people that aren't just operating in one parish. I think that's really, really important. I'm also really pleased to see that we can consider grants for essential repair work, because there have been communities out there with things that need fixing, and they haven't got a way and a means to do that before. So now at least they can apply for these grants, and that's a good thing, because obviously it's like, you know, throwing away something that's decent and buying something new. It's not very environmentally friendly. So I really feel that it's been a learning curve the first year. Obviously, there hasn't been a great deal wrong with how we put them forward the first year, but what we have done is learnt from that, and we're making these little tweaks. I think is a really good thing. So I'm fully supportive of all the recommendations.
Yeah, Simon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say one thing. I want to thank the officers, because obviously what we want to make sure is that every single penny is spent, and I really do thank you for looking at under every corner of the carpet to make sure we've covered everything. It's really, really, really important. And again, it never ceases to amaze me. I said it earlier this evening. I mean, you look at these different grants, some of them, it's a few £100 and it makes such a difference to people. For others, it's tens of thousands and that delivers some wonderful schemes. So it's a commitment, it's an investment in our communities. It's right across the district. I was looking at the list the other day of all the different areas that we've actually helped with this. And it was page after page after page just in the first year. Absolutely fantastic. So thank you to the officers for what you've done. You know, I'm sorry we keep moaning at you and asking you to do things more, which really is appreciated. So I don't know if there's anybody who wants to add anything to this at all. No?
I just wanted to, in terms to manage expectations around the repairs, and we obviously don't want to replace the kind of general maintenance and things that parishes or organisations should be doing day to day. So it isn't for general upkeep. So there will be particular criteria that are around environmental sustainability, around managing a heritage facility or whatever. So it won't be for every repair, but it will be for selected repairs where that makes sense.
Lovely, thank you.
And you know, I'd just like to reflect as well that one of the proposals that came through earlier today, I think, came out of Soretta stopping in a car park and looking at a notice in a village hall window and, you know, making a phone call. So the amount of work that Claire and Soretta have done to reach out to some organisations who perhaps haven't been in contact with us before has been immense.
No, I think it's, you know, we're a very large district, cover a lot of area. And it's important that this is reaching to all the corners of the district. It's fantastic and very, very grateful. Rachel, anything you want to add at all?
No, nothing else from me.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. Well, it has been moved and seconded. All those in favour? Anyone against? That is carried. I'm not aware of any other business, unless the officers are going to tell me differently. No. So I declare the meeting at 8:25 to be closed. Thank you very much to everyone who's attended this evening. And thanks for your help all the time.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Rachel. Steve?